Let's go to the city then, or at least further from here. I still wonder why this all animations are smooth, except that except the landscape's movement, which is just strange. Caravan watchman. This man glances fearfully at you, raising his torch. Oi! Thunder said we wasn't to stray too far from the camp. There's bandits in the hills, and worse besides. I'm not from your caravan, I come from the north. That's so. Lost influence, what? He scowls at you. Well, mind yourself, we are not much food ourselves. We have not much food for ourselves. If you pull your weight, we might not chase you away. Why isn't the caravan moving? Not sure. You would have to ask Thunder. Apparently there's some trouble with the road ahead. He shrugs. All I know is, it gets colder every sodding day we sit in this swamp. And where I can find Thunder? Straight ahead in the road, just by the Hangman's Gate. Same place he's been for the past 4 days. Glad we got out of that canyon before the rock slides started. Okay. Stay here much longer and we'll all freeze to death. Damn gates give me the creeps. Wonder what they were used for. I don't care what the others say, I trust Thunder. If he says we stay put, we stay put. Can't feel my feet. Can't feel my effing feet. Freezing my nuddies off out here. Come on, why are we stalling in this damned marsh? Not sure I should be talking to you. Can't feel my fucking feet. Sure. My girl won't stop coughing. Did you hear about those orcs? There's never. Looks so worried. So take her to see Lark. That slimy old squid skin crawling inside her head, not something likely. A Mechanocrix. So what is on this? There is Ness. This enormous man is part golem. His armored body ripples with arcane energy. Beneath the helmet you can just make out the pair of twinkling eyes. I'll do you, Pilgrim, he beams. You stand before Elgimor of the Ironcast Order. Trade with us if you will. Our arms are here for your protection. What exactly is the Ironcast Order? Once priests, now paladins. He nods towards the huge anvil on the cart behind him, charged with delivery of the Steel Temple's artifacts. Karos, Isle of Creation, has grown grey and still in the ash. So, our Right Father sends us with the holy anvils, one by one, to find our new temple across the sea. Tell me about Karos. Karos, Isle of Makers, of all things. He sighs wistfully. Ironmongers, writers and artists, sculptors and builders. A grand place, refined and strong. I miss it every day. Perhaps you'll return there someday. I do not think so, but even if it were possible, he grimaces, I hope to travel on the ocean, if possible, only once more in my life. The seas around Karos have grown wild, stormy, unpredictable. And being as I am, I would find floating a difficult matter, yes? But come, you had questions for me. What do you have to trade? Plates, swords, fodder of the forge. He shrugs. not born in the fires of Chaos, but crafted in love and artifice, to serve their purpose. Let's see. So I have scale mail. Oh right, these are incredibly expensive. And my weapon is a great axe, which is base damage 1d12, weapon size large. Medium. Martial or elf. What about the gladius? Martial or rogue? Small and piercing. Greatsword slashing martial. Did I have that skill? Or feat even? Militia. Martial weapon proficiency, yup, I do have it. But I don't have the gold currently. Where are you from? Your accent is different. Alright. So let's see. Can I sell you some stuff? Oh, tumble +2, a helmet. I didn't even notice I had that one. And skin. This is the skin of a freshly killed animal or some other creature. How do I look like now? Let's go further. There is Ulgosh, who I can talk to. This halfling barely glances up from his work, slicing through the fur and skin of a dead wolverine. Pelts, claws, tusks, what can I do for you? Show me what you have. You touch it, you bought it. I'm not speaking literally here. Hide armor, leather armor, studded leather armor. Arrows, longbow. Interesting. And of course crafting recipes. Or not recipes. Crafting materials. To the three-fanged peak. So that's the next area I can go to. There is also the northwestern road and there is also the road south. There's a lot of stuff here. So let's go talk to Ness. Appraise skill, you browse the merchant's wares. Greetings to you. This thin middle-aged woman bobs her head respectfully. Are you new to the caravan? We've got supplies for 1 ration pack per day. If you have family members, they'll need to come and see me in person. If you're still hungry, you have coin to spare. Pearl at the Cariat has his own food stock. I'd like some rations for the day, please. Guard item trail rations. Alright, that's 1 ration pack. Make them last, please. It'll be a day before I can let you have any more. Sure. Trail rations. Eating can replenish your strength after an arduous journey or a long fight, but it's unlikely to restore you to your full capabilities. Base item potion charges 1, special properties cure light wounds 2, single use. I never discovered what that Delven key is for. The illuminated chariot. Can I go in here? Say there, Pilgrim, you wouldn't happen to be the practitioner of the art now, would you? What exactly do you mean? Just another fucking normal. Let us just go a little bit back and try to bluff. Probably fail miserably. But hey, why not, right? The art, yes of course. I followed it my entire life. Thought you were, hey? I can always tell, got an eye for it, you know. I'm a follower of the art myself. Hedge magic mostly, self-taught. He raises his palm. and mutters a few syllables. A faint puff of blue fire rises from the air. Gosh, how terribly impressive. Not bad, eh? And that's just a taster. I'm glad I ran into you. Us mages have to stick together. Whole world's relying on us, you know what I mean? The last great hope. Right, I see. So anyway, it was probably time I was going. He shrugs. Bye. That works. Perfect. The bard glances up to you, mid-strum. That was fine singing, thank you. Tip him a cold piece. I can afford it. He bows deeply. The pleasure is mine, madam. Talk to Ta if you need anything. This dwarf lad gives you a friendly grin. This dwarf gives you an exaggeratedly friendly smile and nod. Welcome to the chariot, madam. Finest tavern of 4 wheels you'll ever see. Ain't that right, boy? Sure is that. He claps his fat hands together. Now, what can I get you? We're almost out of Scrumpman's sour, but there are a few bottles of a particularly tasty elven claret. You're in the middle of the wasteland in potentially hostile territory. Is this really a place to be drinking? Oh, it's only a bit of comfort. Mrs. Takes the edge off the cold, while we're marooned here like this. Sure we can't tempt you? Tell me about yourselves. Well, not much to tell, is there, boy? We just came down from the Devil's Throat. That was the mountain where our old village was. We were the first to leave that village behind. The old headsman, he once wanted us to wait it out, but our families always had a nose for trouble, haven't we, boy? So we found ourselves joining up with this caravan, as it was making its way south from Lister. Maybe 100 days ago, perhaps more. They had a wagon spare, so the boy and me took to fixing her up, making her a good proper tavern. You've got to make yourself useful, don't you? Anyway, what can I offer you in the way of refreshment? I want to discuss something with you. Do you want then? Show her the menu, son, and bow nicely, like I taught you. So there is the Peliscan hook. The label just says wine, red? Cheap vodka. Odorless, merciless. Dwarven stout. Ale, a dark and delicious drink made from barley and hops. Goldman's schnapps. This fortified northern schnapps, warming and cheering, is known for its ability to keep your packers up in dangerous situations. Excuse me, you will have to pay to sleep in my bed, you realize? Okay. I will come back later then. Who else is over here? Lantern Company wagon. This huge half-orc nods at you. Boss is inside if you want to go talk to him. Be my guest. What is this wagon? Belongs to the Lantern Company. You might have heard of it. He snorts. Fabrics, furs, jewelry. Heading south for the bitter sea. Me, I'm just a merc. He scowls. Badly paid one at that. Thanks. He shrugs. No problem. Glower like that at me again, and I'll have you stripped naked and sent into the marsh to wash yourself clean. Do you hear me, Bethany? What? This halfling girl stares mutely at you. She wears a silver slave collar around her neck. Not at her. She just stares back. This Genasi wears the heavy medallion of a merchant guild across elegant robes. His fingers are festooned with rings and his eyes glint unpleasantly. Well now, come to trade, have you? Come forward, woman. Don't skulk. Let me get a good look at you. He peers at you thoughtfully. I don't believe I've seen you around the caravan. New, are you? I'm Senior Clothier Kran of the Lantern Guild. Welcome. Who's the girl? Oh, he smiles nastily. Bethany here was once one of my prize slaves, a Tiscan gift. Now, as a gesture to the caravan, she's freed, a personal servant. I can assure you, she's free to leave any time she wishes. But you would be wasting your time trying to make conversation with her. She lost her tongue some time ago. Tell me about the Lantern Company. Been living under a rock, dear girl. The Lantern Company, our enterprise, is one of the most renowned social corporations across the entire northern continent. Fashion is our reason to be, our great power. The director rather likes to boast that we have destroyed empires with nothing more than a scathing critique of a ruler's double. Interesting, do you have anything in stock? He stares at you appraisingly. A certain ruffian attractiveness around the eyes and chin. Do you know, I could see you in our revisionist catalog pieces. Bethany, get out the cloths, and a few of the lower scale jewelry items for our guest. Chop girl. Lantern Gate. Protective, warming, and sophisticated as worn by Lessa Kavirash Resistance Gold. Splendid for a stroll in the countryside, my friends. Look fabulous. Carry more hexes and scrolls than ever before. Amaze your friends and family. Let the clouds do their work. And play show tunes better than you could ever have imagined. Because when I'm attending the latest ball or masquerade, I want everyone to be looking at me. Sure, 900 gold, wow. Okay, I'll be going. So why is there a cage here? What happens if I try to go back there? Oh. I don't think she's freed. How do you, Pilgrim? Good night to you. Remember that life and warmth fleeting. Imri has spoken. Please feel free to take a pamphlet or reflect before the perfect clock. Excuse me? He frowns. The agony, child, the time when life can no longer exist upon these lands. And after that, the silence. Both are coming. In just a few short years. My brethren and I keep the perfect clock tuned to remind our fellow pilgrims of Imri's warning. The end is nigh, we must not forget. When we reach the bitter sea, we shall turn back the clock 1 month and a half. He smiles almost hopefully. And when we stand upon the southern shore, another 6 months. Tell me about Imri, the astronomer who predicted the end of the world. Imri? Ah. I was a young lad myself when I saw him speak, a tall man, bald and stooped, over his podium. He was no natural speaker, nor a natural leader, but he spoke truth, unvarnished and honest, without a quiver in his voice. Although he was old, he did not seek power nor wealth. He had stumbled onto the awful truth, and he believed we deserved to hear it for ourselves. He believed we were wise enough to hear it for ourselves. I knew then that was a man, a rare man, who was worth following to the end. And so I took up my bell and my clock, and I began to count time on the sun's end. Interesting, thank you for your time. Do take a pamphlet. Imri's words do not bring comfort, but clarity and much needed truth. Wherever you walk, do not forget. Why can't I speak to you anymore? Oh well. Give me a pamphlet. I want to read more. Too bad. There is probably someone at the bonfire as well. Then there is the caravan master's wagon. Apothecary's wagon. I'll probably go here first and then here. Hi. This. Shouldn't stray too far from the camp. This tall drone woman does not turn. Marsh water can pull you under, and in this fog, we'd be hard-pressed to find you. What are you doing out here? Keeping the fires from burning too high, lest we attract any more unwanted attention. She takes a breath, watching. What are these bodies? These were orcs. Whether they were creeping in towards the caravan to slit our throats in our sleep, or just to pilfer our supplies, I can't say, but they came armed. Something found them first. We heard the holler out in the marshes, came to investigate. 3 orc bodies, floating in their own blood, slashed to ribbons. Do I have a survival skill? 3, so maybe. Those aren't slash marks, they're claw wounds, from something big. Something's been hunting here. That's worse then. Could be something's made these marshes its hunting grounds. Aye, farewell. She does not turn to acknowledge you. I'm smart. Old stout. This old man gazes blearily at you. He's clutching tightly onto a complicated-looking piece of apparatus. His fingers working over its body. Help you with something? What's that you're holding? Oh, this? It's a camera. Quite common in Leicester, you'd find. Takes, I suppose you'd call them instant paintings. He nods to the rack of little pictures beside him. Landscapes picked out in black and white, exquisitely framed. Name Stout. That was quite a name. For some time in Leicester. Wilderness pictures, that sort of thing. Eyes are no good now, of course. He points to his own face. Great pity, great pity. I'd hoped to travel this far south one day, catch the great plains of the Splinter Kingdoms. You've been on the road yourself a while, I imagine. Seen much that's beautiful in this landscape? Desolate, yes, but I'd say it has a kind of beauty to it. His eyebrows twitch. I should very much like to see a clear view of it all for myself, you know. Would you consider taking this old camera of mine out next time you're on the road? You could find a high point, somewhere in the mountains with a clear view of the valleys below. Take a shot of the great landscape for me. I'd be honored to. He hands you the camera, carefully, and then something in his face changes. His old hand grips the strap. You will bring it back, won't you? Truth. I will. He considers. Alright, I believe you, I think. Sorry, he shakes his head. I need to learn to be more trustful of folk. Here you go. Just press click right here, and there'll be an almighty flash. And the paper comes out of this end, look, he demonstrates. Got it? Good luck to you then. And remember, the highest point you can find. It's a one-shot, so pick your moment carefully. You won't get another chance. Stout from the Ironscuttle Caravan has tasked me with heading to the highest point I can find and attempting to take a picture with his camera device. So I can probably go to the Three-Fanged Peak to do that. Let's read about the camera. Searing light, single use. There's nothing special about this item. Greenfire Mark IV camera. Okay. I would say it's special. Oh, what is it? Oh, that's the Master's Caravan. So I will be going this way. And it is the truth. I will try... Although, if it hadn't put it in the journal, then I may have forgotten about it eventually, but... We're not having this discussion again. We send out more scouts. And wait for another 4 days. Another 8. Thunder. The cold is growing. The longer we stay here, the more likely we all are to freeze to death. What if we miss the boats? The map says it clearly enough. Danger in the road ahead. And Elren and his scouts haven't come back, and now we find these dead orcs? No. We can't go in blind and risk the safety of the caravan. You goddamned old woman. So, what if a few of us perish? You're clinging to the same stupid old ideas, refusing to see that everything has changed. We need to keep going or all of us will die. We send out more scouts, yes. That's decided. Now get out of my wagon before I lose my temper with you. Wait, I thought I was going to the apothecary. This man has a dark complexion and a slightly roguish twinkle in his eye. Right now, however, his face is set with fatigue. There are great grey bags beneath his eyes. If you've got a petition for me, or a demand that we move forward, or a threat, I'd save it. This caravan goes nowhere until we're safe. He squints. You know, I recognize most of our faces, but not yours. You new to the camp? I am. Well, welcome to Ironscuttle. It's not much, but it's home. What was that about scouts? He sighs. I sent scouts out, some of our best trackers, 4 days ago to find us a safe route south. They haven't returned. Chris thinks that's a sign we should move on. I disagree. And you think they're dead? I know these maps say the road ahead is dangerous. Aside from that, I'm not willing to guess. But what I won't do is stumble blindly on into the darkness. I was voted master of this caravan. That means I was entrusted with the lives of the people in it, not just the ones who think they can survive the road ahead. He glances up. Damn it, what is it now? The breathless young caravaneer bobs his head apologetically. We found someone on the northwestern road, Thunder, who hurt real bad. One of ours? We don't think so. He's a gnome, we think. He's burned real bad, Thunder. Real bad. Take him to the apothecary's wagon. I'll be there as soon as I can. I thought I was on the apothecary's. He wheels on you. Want to help? Then come with me. I'm pretty sure I went to the... Didn't I go to the... No, I didn't. What? I did. Maybe I got turned around in this battle and didn't notice it. I'll have to check back. You clamber up the ladder and into the wagon. Lay him down here, Thunder's voice is cracked. Thought you might not even be here, Lurk. You've been gone the last 3 days. I was shrimping the marshes. Pass me that unguent on the shelf. The apothecary's head is bowed over the injured stranger, but his voice is peculiar. Somehow, it seems to slip into your head without passing through your ears first. A series of thoughts, perhaps, more than a voice. Then he raises his head, and you see a face that's slimy and dark and writhing and with tentacles. Oh, a monster! Take a step back. Lurk, this is... Hells, I didn't actually catch your name. Terina Ilomane. Terina Ilomane. This is, Lurkaman. Usually we just call him Lurk. The creature's hands keep working at the patient as it talks. Lurkamoon. It isn't that difficult to pronounce, Thunder. The W intonation. Makes perfect sense when I'm hearing it whispered in my damn ear, but that doesn't mean I can pronounce it out loud now, can I? Wait, You're hearing that too? It's the way he talks and listens. Understandably, it tends to creep people out around the camp. Talk to me, Lark. What happened to him? Think he's going to make it? Extremely unlikely. Do you know anything about healing, my new friend? Heal, yes. Good. This man is in incredible pain. I needed to mix something for him while I treat his burns. There's aloe, flax and dreamgrass on the counter. I'm on it. As you approach with the drug, the shadows shift and you get a clear look at the man on the table for the first time, blackened skin, seething beneath the cold water, face contorted, two pale white eyes staring out at you. Oh, sweet Ter. The gnome tilts upright, his teeth are bared beyond lips that have charred into nothing. His eyes are wide and staring. Iluk pa, Kretomei Kreta. Mukobei Artola, Kalkirot. He hesitates, trembling, and then falls back, apparently exhausted. What the hell was that? What did he say? Shake your head. He was frightened, not just for himself, but for others. Perhaps there are more people in danger on the northwestern road. Thunder seems frozen for a moment, then he nods. We need to get someone on that road. See if there are other survivors or any sign of whoever did this to them. I'll get my hands on some supplies, then head out. You? You sure you want to do this? You don't owe us anything. Whatever attacked this poor man is still out there. We have a duty to make sure nobody else is in danger. He claps a hand briefly on your shoulder. See if anyone around the caravan might be willing to join you then. There's strength in numbers. And I'd better tell the scouts to be watching the northern road, Lurk. You, let me know if this man wakes again. The gnome moans, rocking back and forth, whispering underneath his breath. Apply a wet towel soaked in cold water to his forehead. Failure, he shrieks as the towel touches his skin. Whoops, burn victim. Terrible. Is there something you can do to help him, Lurk? There are two things I can do for him, yes. I can quiet his mind for a time. He will feel no pain, although his body blackens and crisps around him. He will be at peace. But this is no permanent remedy. In time his agony will return. If he lives, he will suffer. Alternatively, I can end his pain, permanently and quickly. You sense his mind's tendrils slipping softly into yours, feeling at the edges of your choice, testing the waters of your judgment. What would you have me do, I wonder? Calm his mind. Lurk raises a hand across the gnome's head and concentrates for a moment. The gnome's eyes roll softly back into their sockets suddenly. His struggling ceases, and he lies still. He may not forgive you when he wakes again, but no matter. We will continue to ease his pain as best as we can. A moment. If you intend to enter the wilds, I should like very much to accompany you. Really? I'm surprised you won't abandon your wagon. I have sat trapped in here for too long. I desire to be outside, moving, observing the phenomena of flora and fauna, reacting to an increasingly hostile environment. This horror at the gnomish church is a valuable reminder. The world is out there, and I am of infinitely more use to it if I step outside this wagon's walls. Besides, I can hardly claim that my fellow travelers are particularly happy to have me around. I will glad to have your company on the road, certainly. You will not regret it. Just let me assemble a few satchels for specimen jars. Satchels of specimen jars, pickling fluid, eyeglasses, scalpels, specimen number 58. Where have we got to? The scientist. Specimen 58. Oh, I have a party now. Who is this? Who are you, exactly? Can I somehow look at him? Like that. Puppet mode off. Info, class, a druid. Interesting. Druid Guardian, domains not applicable. Arcane spell failure 5%.
Yes?
That's interesting. Strange fishbowl. This appears to be some kind of fishbowl. In the murky grey waters, something is swimming. Dozens of things. Their long suckers extending and retracting. As if responding to your call, one of them swims close, its pink mouth pressing up against the glass. Lean towards it. As you lean in, lowering your gaze to its level, you hear the voice, deep and echoing, booming with the weight of 1,000 fathoms. I must escape this cage. Curious, isn't it? My people were always so proud of our psychic abilities. When truth be told, there are creatures all over this earth, from wild insects to microscopic organisms, which display similar skills. I found that specimen in a rock pool close to the Terrian cliffs. I have never seen anything quite like it. It said it wanted to escape. Of course it did, it's dying. For the past 2 days I've been removing the oxygen from the water. The creatures are suffocating slowly. Suddenly, their reality becomes a cage. You're monitoring their reactions to the changing environment, of course. What have you seen so far? I hoped you would understand. In the 4th hour, I saw 5 of these creatures working together, floating on top of each other, to try and push the 6th on the surface. The next day, I saw a larger creature consume 3 of its fellows, tearing them to pieces. It didn't eat them, it simply wanted them out of the way. Their reactions are instructive to me. Firstly, as a reminder that when an environment turns hostile at great speed, a number of rapid changes may occur in the inhabitant, overriding cultural imposition and even familiar instinct. Secondly, in a caravan where I am distrusted, even loathed, I find it useful to watch how people react when I explain the nature of this pessimism, callousness, or compassion on a micro scale. So I'm part of this experiment as well? His voice is soft, amused. Oh, we are all part of an experiment. Every single one of us. I believe that quite firmly. But is the experimenter still watching us? Or has he long since blown out the candles and left the room? That is the question. That's deep. So I guess I'm gonna go to Three-Fanged Peak. Because I want to take the scientist. I have been joined by Lurk, an ill-teed Commonwealth, more recently of the Ironscuttle Caravan. Yay. Well, this will be interesting. So next I will do Fire and Ash. The gnome who staggered into the caravan of Irons was delirious, apparently driven mad from his burnwoods. He spoke of a great fire and someone called Kalkirat. Whatever happened, it happened to the northwest of here, and Thunder has accepted my offer to investigate. South Road, so northwest is there. So I have 2 side quests to do. But I will definitely do this one first. Where is it? It's up there.